Oh, it's the lighting, I think, because like at daytime there's daylight coming in, so that bounces here weird. It's just a tiny webcam in
Yeah, it's
front, so
just
it can
stop moving your
change.
right hand, sir. You're ruining the monster body pillow. Just you're kind of giving it
Gotta keep it
away.
up.
Just
It's there. It's there. It's there.
we
Gotta
might
love it. That's been
might
there
try to
since season one.
replace that tomorrow or something when playoffs start. Not tomorrow, but when playoffs start, we'll sort something out. We'll fix it up, John. We'll make it so you can't lift something. We'll figure it out. Still,
Yeah,
TNC
that's fair.
Predator, their last pickups now, or rather last ban outs. We saw the Conquer being removed for
Hmm.
Execration. TNC Predator, what do they want to get rid of?
Turn to ban.
Hmm. You know, I'm not sure what you want to get rid of here, but I do worry a bit. So we talked a bit PA Mag, but you have to consider that's into a Omni Knight. So Guardian Angel is just going to stop that, right? Like the physical's not going to do much there. I think Creation's got to be a bit wary when they go in. You need to catch that Omni, you need to burst him down first. Otherwise, Guardian Angel is going to save a lot of lives there.
Yeah,
10
absolutely.
seconds remain.
There's your OD band, TNC Predator, one more.
5 seconds remain. Minions turn to
Okay, they'll
ban.
get rid of the Lich, fair enough. There is still a position 5 lacking here for Execration
Hmm.
if they don't want to run the Bat Rider 5, which
Hmm.
is we have seen a bit of Bat Rider 5 actually, quite a bit of it
Yeah.
throughout these group stages. But
It's uh,
Execration, we'll see.
It's pretty greedy
10
though.
seconds
I think
remain.
when you look at these three heroes plus the PA, if if two of the
5
supports are already
seconds.
here, it's really hard to make everyone have farm. That jungle is gonna be so crowded because your Magnus is farming there, your PA is farming there. Then either your Bat or Pango is gonna look for that as well. Might get a bit too greedy. So I think they're gonna need a very hard five here. Something very sacrificial. It's a bit hard because you kind of pigeonholed yourself into this situation. I mean, a support Dazzle seems nice, but we haven't seen support Dazzle in like a year. It's all been offlane, and even then, it's a bit greedy. Oracle, it's been banned out, so no option for that. You really just want something to sustain your PA here. That's a hard five. That's what you're looking for, but maybe they go greedier. I mean, you could also make that work if you just keep running them down.
40 seconds left. $30. They're going to have to think about this one quite heavily, in fact.
Hmm.
Okay, there's a lot riding on the line here. So Execration, they do want to make sure they tick all the boxes, right? They don't want to leave anything
Hmm.
behind.
Hmm. Maybe a Witch Doctor support has some heals. It can play outside. Chrono as well, make it difficult for the Void. You have to stick way far back, though. But if the Chrono doesn't land on a Witch Doctor, Cask, that Horde will
Ryan's
play a
turn
big
to
part.
pick.
That could work. They go with Rubik instead. All right. Not quite the selfless support we're looking here, though, for Execration. You look at this lineup, there is synergy coming out, yes, but it's also really greedy. They're going to have to get off to a running start and not bleed ground. I think the moment you give
10
TNC
seconds.
any sort of ground to stand on, you're going to be farming in the jungle for a
5
while with your mag, with your
seconds
PA,
remain.
with either your Bat or Pango, or even maybe you flex it as a core Rubik here for Execration. We'll see. It's still explosive and going to be fun to watch, but they've got to pace themselves properly here, Execration. It is really greedy.
Well, TNC, their last pickup. It's either a pos 5 for March, or we're expecting a mid lane, and I'm very sure it is a mid lane for Armel. In fact, I'm guaranteeing it is. So TNC, they'll go for the Ember.
Will enforce
That's a
your
nice way to
will
finish it off. So now
upon the
both drafts are
battlefield
finished.
today.
I saw some people in chat wanting to see the dog properly. So should I try and call her over before we
It,
before we go to the
I'd say
draft?
do it,
All
do
right,
it, do it.
Luna, do you wanna come say hello again? You wanna come say hello? Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. There we go. There's Luna. Luna,
Oh,
look at the camera.
oh,
There you go. Say hello.
mm,
Thank you, Luna. I love you too.
oh.
All right, come on now. Come on, I got a game to come. I'm getting paid for this, Luna. We're gonna afford your dog food somehow. Come on, get down now. Thank you very much. I'm the star of this show. You sit back
10
down.
seconds
She's gonna start
I'm
casting
I'm
soon,
joking.
Mike. You know it.
Yeah, she might. We'll switch over now.
remain.
Mm.
Thank you, Luna.
Yeah, it's gonna be an explosive one, as you said. It is an off-lane Rubik, by the way. Raging Potato Rubik. It's the support Bat Rider with a Pango, so BDZ and a Pangolier, RR and a Bat. Again, issue of greed still stands there for Execration. TNC, so much more straightforward. They may not have the solid combos with the arrow, but we've seen Tim's do enough work with just the chains to set up for him from Armel, and that's all they really need to get done. So Execration, you've got to play this fast. They cannot bleed ground. TNC, it's straightforward. This is a very standard TNC draft. You've got the KP Omni, which appears every now and again. He does do good work in the Omni, though. So this is something very comfy for TNC. We'll see if Execration, with their slightly oddball draft, can force them in a unfamiliar situation here.
I hate to say it, John, but she's staring at me now. I think she wants a treat or something. I can't get her one right now. She's staring at me. I'm scared. I need help.
Oh, goodness.
Moving on. She'll lie down eventually. Game number 1 between TNC Predator and Execration about to start, and it should be a good one. Of course, we'll bring up the loot bet odds in just a moment and see what they are thinking, as KP's going to have a nice little laugh before we get started. There are a lot of fun games today, John, I got to say. It's been a great day.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, BDZ, he's the one guy in lobby who's just always talking as well. Like this time he called March the imposter, of course. Because it's always, for some reason, it's always March. BDZ's offering to drop an AWP for them in Counter-Strike for Gabby. Oh, boys.
Uh-oh.
CSGO, boys.
Quick pause. Armel. He needs Merienda, John. Armel needs a few minutes.
Telling them to be quiet, dude. He's saying, don't be too noisy, boys.
Everyone shut up. I'm eating Merienda. Gabby's actually disconnected. He might go have some as well. You know what I had, John? I've been trying to keep up with the Merienda as well, John. I had some tuna salad. Now I realize it's not really Merienda food, but I didn't have anything sweet nearby, and I'm trying to lose some weight right now, John. So I couldn't eat that. So I ate some tuna salad. Does that count? Did I do it right?
Yeah, it's the spirit. It's the time you eat it that counts. It's not necessarily the food. So if you have it after lunch, before dinner, around past trees usually, then that's merienda. So you've had merienda with all of it. Just with the rest of the Philippine bees, he's not stopping, dude. He's asking for gas money. Then he'll head down. He's coming down, just give him gas money. No, he's gonna go down, deliver that whatever it is to Gabby and Gabby. Oh, these boys, man.
This is why I love SCA Dota, you know, they just trash talk each other straight off the bat. You know, obviously it's very friendly stuff. No one hates each other here, but it's just good to see the sportsmanship coming in, you know?
Oh yeah. It's the sportsmanship, it's the spirit, the brotherly spirit as well. Oh, there you go. There's the mobile talk for some reason.
Oh, gee. I've got the chat started on it. We've got this now in the in-game. Let's not upset those guys too much. I mean, they're just playing their game, you know. I just think if somebody talks crap about your game, just go play your game. Don't worry about it. Unless it's League of Legends, of course. In which case, you know, make as much fun as you want. I mean, that's just trash.
Oh yeah, definitely. Still no big encounters here so far. Looks like a very calm minute 0 runes. Both teams can be relaxed. I am very curious to see what Execration brings out of it. So you look up top, it's Raging Potato with BDZ, which isn't strange by itself. It's just really, you know, we're seeing the core Rubik again. I'm wondering how Raging Potato builds up. Of course, we have seen that Fade Bolt really put a damper on these Forest Farms. So Gabby, on that Faces Void, it's going to have his work cut out for him, depending on how often Raging spams out. March going to have to really position himself well to get a lot of harassment off to buy that space for Gabby. But if Execration get a good start here, they might put that Faces Void under a lot of pressure.
See how it works out. Of course, in the mid lane, you do have Armel and Ken. Ken going to be having the advantage here up against Armel, especially with that Empower. Should have a pretty decent laning stage. Armel might have a bit of a struggle, but for now he's going to keep up. As long as he keeps his gap and distance away from Ken, he should be fine.
Yeah, it's one of those lane matchups. It's a melee matchup for the mag, so he's got ways to dance around it. He's gonna look for the steady farm. Armel shouldn't fall too far behind, but you gotta watch that kind of skewer play.
You do. It is very, very dangerous. Of course, bot lane, Tims and KP gonna be up against RR and Palos. Palos gonna have a decent enough time, I think, right? Like, up against the Omni Knight in the mid game, of course, KP is gonna be a real nuisance with that Omni. But up until that point, in terms of laning, Palos should be alright.
Yeah, it's not going to be an extremely difficult lane. You are already seeing RR flex his muscles here, tossing out the sticky napalm, making it hard to turn around and find some opportunities. And this is what you want. You get a smooth start for the PA. She'll escalate really fast because you've got a mag and power as well. You got to be careful with your positioning though. You know that Tims and KP will look to punish if you step too far. That's the only thing you have to worry about. But KP, there's only so much you can do as the Omni. You can spam the purification, but it's not like you have a lot of mana to play with until the soul rings up.
Looks like Armel still having a very nice time. Ken not able to really deny him out as much as I would have expected from the mag. It is Armel though, of course. He is a very, very dangerous mid player.
Yeah. And, you know, he did get the pause for Merienda, so he's feeling energized.
Naturally.
I think the key thing here, the key thing here is going to be those 4-minute runes. You know, both sides are wanting to top up their bottle, get a bit of a spike going, so the supports are going to have to work their way down. I'd give a slight edge there for Execration. I mean, you've got a Pango that can walk down. You've got a Bat as well. Really aggressive, though. You look at RR, he's caught a lot of damage, but Tims as well a bit far forward.
He is. He'll be able to leap away. BDZ going after March now. Should be just fine. Back down to the bot lane. Tims is still man-fighting RR here on the Bat Rider, and it looks like RR is the one to back off. Doesn't want a bar of it. Salve up on Tims. RR does not have a salve. He'll just have to eat a tango, and Execration, they have no regen down at that bot lane.
Yeah, that's not a good spot. I mean, that's the one thing as well with this Omni Knight matchup, right? You get the Heavenly Grace off, the napalm disappears. Suddenly that trade isn't going too well. You got to be able to match that here, and you even find a courier. So Tim's just having a wonderful time down bot already.
He is. Of course, mid lane, Armel and Ken, both of them getting very, very low. They will bottle up. They'll be fine.
It's
No
about
kills
that
on the map
4-minute mark. It's a slower start, but maybe a scuffle over these runes, and Armel gets to pick it up. Invis.
Interesting, right? Like, usually we are used to seeing supports just rushing for them, but Armel's just freely allowed to walk down and get it. And I think that's a pretty big loss for Execration. Like, Ken's already only evening out this lane up against Armel, but you don't want to give free runes away like that. Because Armel's just going to have a free bottle now, plus an Invis rune to use later on.
Yeah, it's not a good spot, and you look up top, and BDZ's been holed up. They're still trying to slow down Gabby. That's been their main focus now. They've done that really well. Gabby's last hits are not clean. It's 16-2. Raging Potato is having a better time.
They're getting low. John Ken can't get the last hit in time. There is a ping out though. Tims, he wants to try for an arrow opportunity. He's going to throw one out. This could be cheeky. It's going to Ken, but he will barely miss. Holy crap. Tims, if Tims landed that, I don't know. I'd be convinced he's map hacking at that point. I'd be like, no, you can't do that. You can't be that good, Tims. It doesn't land, however. So he's not hacking. He's alright.
Yeah, that's a close one though. If they got that kill, Ken would be, well, you know, he would be raging a bit. I'm sure. Not a pleasant time. Still, how do you look at these laning phases
Speaking of raging, John. Yeah, Raging's in trouble. He might be raging in a moment as Rubik is, yeah, he's kind of gone. Gabby going to be able to pick him up. BDZ unable to really help him out on the Pangolier. He will continue to just whack away on Gabby. In fact, does get a trade. BDZ able to at least even it out. And in fact, I'd say that's a win for BDZ in the side of Execration. Unless March gets a trade now, but he does not connect with the Gale. Still chasing BDZ. One more hit. No, he'll eat a Fairy Fire and salve up. Goes back on March. BDZ, you didn't really just get a double kill. He might, but no. There is a Fade Ball out from Raging, and that'll do it. March does die. BDZ on the way... I thought I was about to say on the way back to the fountain, but he's going to stick around for a D ward first. And then he might go back.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, mid, Ken.
start.
He almost went down in that mid lane jump, but he had to commit the RP to be able to survive, and Armel will just back off.
Not a good sign when that first RP doesn't net you anything. Usually that's fine, but when you're this low and you have March around, it could be dicey.
Oh, Ken's gone. Yeah, it's not great news. Good rotation out from March, of course, on the Veno. That is going to be hurting the side of Execration quite a bit, I think.
Oh, it definitely will. Like, Execration, we talked about this draft. If they lose ground in laning, that means you're going to be farming on at least 2 of these cores. Heavily farming, you know. It's not like a slow and steady build-up. And even Palos.
It's a Fairy Fire. Gonna make a run for it. He does have the Blink Strike in a second. Will blink away. Should be fine. Just throw a dagger out on the way out. But this is all time he's not really farming, and he just doesn't have any regen, so KP's just dominating the lane now. And Tim's, if he does land an arrow onto Palos, will basically guarantee that he dies. Tim's will keep tabs on where this PA is going. In fact, Armel, what a great rotation out. He found Palos exactly where he was. He has 1 remnant. He will commit it, but he is now out of mana and out of skills to use. So Palos going to turn around. Armel does get the kill, but it will mean Armel dies in the process. Still worthwhile for TNC. Maybe just a little bit greedy there from Armel.
Yeah, just a bit of greed, but I think you're fine keeping that PA down. I mean, at this point, the farm between all the cores are fairly even, but that, I feel that really just benefits TNC. Like, you need this runaway start for Execration. Once you reach that 10-minute mark and towers are going to be taken, and you lose some ground here in Execration, gotta be careful about that point.
Tim's be chased down. Top lane, looks like there is a bit of a chase now onto Raging. Interesting to note, Raging's running that core Rubik that we just saw out of Among Us, but not quite panning out as well as Gabby is just going to commit the chrono for this core Rubik and will be able to take the kill. Very easy stuff for TNC.
And that's the one benefit of that Void, right? Like, you don't rely on RNG to burst someone down. Level 6 is a clear power spike for him, especially with the early mom. You find a good kill, you go back to farming. With Palos, like, he has a 6, he maybe gets a crit, but you still are stuck farming. He's actually going for the Battle Fury build, even with Mag. Again, trying to be independent. You don't rely too much on having Ken keep track of you. That can be fine, it's just the timing now is going to be important. Palos, he's going to need a lot of space bought out while waiting for the B Fury, while waiting for the Desolator. And we do have some good stacks built up. They're going to have to start clearing them out and start trying to make some space out as TNC. Sooner or later, they're going to start eyeing down some tier 1 towers to buy that space off the map.
Tim's looking for another nice arrow opportunity here in this mid lane. Does get a nice ward out just behind that tier 1, and now Armel going to make the dive in onto RR. There's TP's coming, but RR is almost certainly going to die, and now Ken, he's got the RP, so he could try for one, but he is not. And he's still going to be wary of the fact that Tim's is around the corner. But it looks like TNC are going to be satisfied with that kill onto the Bat Rider, and they will head off.
They're applying pressure across the map. You can see Palos opts the TP top to defend, but he's surrounded right now. It's not the best spot for the PA to safely farm, and that's what we're looking for. Like, he's got the Empower. Maybe go for clearing out that creep wave, but the positioning of TNC just makes it difficult. They've invaded the triangle. They're just keeping tabs, keeping mid shoved in. They've got some good control in that Radiant jungle as well because of Tim's, and they keep sniping these couriers.
They do. Another nice snipe there. Tim's getting BDZ's courier, and I believe that's the 3rd courier of the game Tim's has gotten already. Once again, Ken, who's clearing out some stacks, but Tim's will soak XP off the mag into the mid lane. They don't know Tim's is right behind them. BDZ, who'll go for the Rolling Thunder onto March. March just trying to get away. Armel now chaining backwards onto Ken and RR. Not concerned about the RP, and Ken just never uses it. I thought they might commit the RP onto Armel, just try to get another kill going after March, but it just wasn't the case. They hold on.
being a bit more patient, maybe looking for a bigger opportunity.
Maybe now. Mel. Perhaps just afraid he's going to juke them out. Lift up now onto Armel, but Skewer not going to be there in time for Ken. He'll be fine to walk out of there.
Yeah, it's a missed opportunity for Execration, but you're happy with a free pickup on March. This is still time. Both Execration and TNC are buying for their cores though. Like, Gabby gets to save up for his MKB. Palos is still slowly building up into that Battle Fury. They're just trading farm here. You do have a slight edge with Gabby. He is further ahead, and you see KP even shoving that tier 1 bot, forced to bring RR in for defense. But they've made more progress in tower chip damage, at least here for TNC. And again, that's another hurting point for Execration. And they're not quite doing too much to these objectives. And while those stand, TNC will always have a safe spot in that jungle to go back to.
They will. Let's see, loot bet odds looking pretty good in terms of TNC. RR, he's going to be caught out again by Gabby. They have the chrono, but they just don't need it. No point in using it. They'll get the tier 1 bot tower. They still maintain their own top tier 1 tower at this rate. And if they want to defend that top tier 1, they certainly can. They have the chrono.
They've got the tools, and Execration doesn't have the damage really to even get a solid push going. Palos is just shoving it in, but when you don't have the numbers around, you might not be able to find it. They do have the supports behind though. Perhaps now is the time.
They're going to try it to Armel, but he'll rim it out of there. Execration going to try and force that tier 1 top, but they've got to defend that tier 1 mid. It is much more valuable. It looks like they may not be able to. Perhaps they don't feel confident in this defense. Armel currently just watching Raging Potato. He has no clue what's happening. Now the chain's going to come out and KB pops the drums and they rush him. Raging, trying to survive with the purification, but a nice remnant dodge out of Armel. Now the sleight of fist dodge. Oh, he just jukes BDZ out, and now the chrono's there from Gabby. They got 2 of them with the chains out and the arrow. BDZ trying to run, but that is a complete outplay from the side of TNC.
Oh, man. Like, the dodges from Armel were great. The positioning of the chrono on the edge to get hits in from KP, from Armel was even better. Just lining up all the shots there. TNC now with a solid 2k lead. Not a massive fall off for Execration. So again, there's still some hope, but you are losing map control. With a mid tier 1 gone, that jungle not safe to farm in, and you need a lot of jungle space for all of these cores from Execration. You're still waiting for the Battle Fury and Palace. It's not even up yet.
March. Commit the poison over. He's not afraid. His whole team's right behind him, and they have the Omni. So Raging, just caught, does go down. Gabby's laughing at the bank.
Yeah, it's a freebie. Yeah, and you'll take it. This core Rubik for Execration not quite lining up yet. He does have his Aether Lens, but it's not quite enough. You know, they need to get some big spells going. And we haven't even seen the full kit of TNC. Like, they've got that Guardian Angel up and running, ready to go from KP in case of a defensive play needed. So they've still got some big options. There's still a smoke up. No blink, but they've got the Echo on their mag. Perhaps that's enough to find some.
Yeah, RR going to go for the rush in with the smoke. They have that RP. They're going to try onto March, but a nice scale out from March is going to slow him down. And now Armel with the chains out. Ken trying to RP, but hasn't used it yet. Just pump fakes. March is going to die now, but Armel still going forward, trying to get RR on the Bat Rider, and should be able to, as the RP is pretty darn good, but it's only caught 2. Armel juked it out again. KB will survive. Tims does go down, but Ken is a man the run, and they are chasing him down as Gabby just jumps onto the train, comes along with Ken, and Ken's still in massive danger. Raging trying to protect him, but it's not going to be good enough, and now they chase for more. Gabby after Raging Potato. Armel is being chased by BDZ, but he has his team behind him, and it looks like BDZ is going to let this one go. He won't bother chasing.
It's not the clean trade for TNC, but you still win out in the end. You punish Ken, you hold on to your own spot, so you're going to have Chrono up soon. You might be able to catch a big one in Palos.
They could, but Palos has gone into the blur and should be just fine. Nice scan out as well from Palos. Great game sense from our PA, knowing they were coming. Barely juked out an arrow, but they seem to have spotted him out now, Palos. He is caught. Tim's going to just leap straight into him. Palos going to go for the fight on Tim's, but there's your Purification. There's your Heavenly Grace. And he is just stuck, but he'll Blink Strike again. But no, Gabby will have none of it. He'll bash him up, get the job done. Now it's a 4K net worth lead for TNC.
Yeah, it's piling up here for TNC. Execration, they need a time to build up. I think Ken, once he has to blink, a lot of pressure is going to be put on the Magnus to find an opportunity to get bigger RPs. They can win out if they do get that done, but you're asking for a lot there from Ken. I think it's a difficult proposition when you're tied into a team fight spell like that. You also still got to maximize this Battle Fury on Palos, so, you know, he finishes it up. He needs the Deso next, but you can see TNC, there's just no space. They keep smoking up.
Alright, he's caught out again. Gabby with the time dilation, not going to go for the kill. Arrow going to whiff. Looks like he was just a bit afraid of what was behind RR. Didn't want to get lassoed up. How's Palos doing? Still working towards that Desolator. Not going to be the fastest timing here for Palos. Especially when you consider the fact that the MKB on Gabby is just around the corner now.
Gonna be a big stinger. The PA loses a lot of durability once the MKB is up. So, Execration, the power spikes aren't lining up. Tier 2 up top, slowly being chipped away by Gabby. They need to come in to try to stop this.
They do. He's got the Chrono though, it's tough. And again, he has the MKB. He's just going to run to the secret shop and pick it up now. And they're not going to be expecting this item to be up. Luckily for them, Palos is currently sitting and waiting for a camp to spawn. So, he probably won't even be here for this defense attempt. And Gabby, bit sneaky here, going into the tree line. He wants a big Chrono, it seems. Breaks the tree. They haven't... No, they have noticed, but he is not going to time walk. He's going to back off. Nice attempt from Gabby. He broke the last tree a bit too early, I think.
Yeah, but they've got that Blink and Ken, Mike, so the Blink RP is in play. I think Execration are going to have to really show up here with the next defense that they have put out, because TNC, again, they're just going to choke you out. Like, they're not giving you too much room to breathe. The only one that can dip out is Palos, and that PA is going to need to show up now.
Oh, Gabby. Smoke up. They'd love to get this Void. Ken can't afford to miss this RP and never goes for it. Well, you miss every time, you don't take the chance. Ken, he's going to hold out for the next time, but now there's a Moonlight Shadow. Armel going to run straight into them. He is going to not hesitate at all. In fact, he's just going to wait for Gabby to move his way in, and now the chains are going to come out into an arrow, and Gabby, he'll go for the Chrono on the side, grabs two of them. Ken has no RP opportunity. Well, now he does, and he will go in for a three-member KB. He has the Guardian Angel. The Poison Nova's out, and Ken is just gone. Gabby gets a triple. In fact, it's about to be an ultra as Palos has been chained up. A nice stolen Guardian Angel, but Gabby, he has magic damage with the MKB. He's not going to try for the Rampage. He will go back. He wants the tier 3 tower. And in fact, he may not even want that because he still has a tier 2 to take.
Oh, man. That hesitation from Ken, we've been talking about it, but they need to step up to the plate with that RP. Now that the Blink's been revealed, TNC, they're going to be aware. They're going to adjust their playstyle. They maintain the lead here, Mike. 6-18, 10k lead for TNC. And the game for Execration is just getting harder and harder. Like, the progress towards that Deso is still there for Palos, but there is a big divide now between these cores. Like, again, Gabby with the MKB just hits too hard. They're in the Roche. There's no RP. There's no big play for Execration here, but this is not an objective you want to give, but you're going to have to because of how far behind you are.
Absolutely. John, I'm going to have to quickly give a warning out. If the stream cuts off, a huge thunderstorm has just started, so...
Oh.
Yeah, so if the stream suddenly cuts out, that would mean the power's gone out. Just FYI, but I don't think it's going to happen. Just in case, because it sounds pretty bad out there.
Oh,
I'll try to make sure if it does happen, we reconnect ASAP. But Well, it's, you know, power's never been cut off before, so hopefully it doesn't happen today.
Yeah, hopefully not. Still, I think your power line should hold better than mine, Mike. We've had those issues before. Still, the smoke up here. TNC, confident, Aegis in the bag. They're gonna look for something to really pick off here.
Absolutely. Big smoke up into the side of TNC. Armel has a DD rune. They pop the drums. I believe they saw Raging, and they are going to make the chase now. But RR right next to him wants to avoid this gank from Armel. Nice chains out into the arrow, straight onto Palos. He's been stunned up for 5 seconds, and he's just going to get burnt by Armel. There's your RP, but Armel dodges it. And Ken, he only got Tims, who's just going to leap away. Look at RR. He's being tortured right now, John. They're just poking him.
Oh,
KP going to go finish him. Just put him out of his misery. Gabby going to jump in now after the BDZ. And it's another 4 heroes down. TNC, just complete domination so far in game number 1.
yeah, it's a huge gap for Execration to have to close out. They're losing map control fast. We're just not seeing the place that we need to. Execration, there's an opportunity to blink RP, but that's on cooldown for 1.5 minutes. That's so much time for TNC to just be up there. They've got Chrono back up. They've still got the Aegis. You are going to be hard-pressed to stop Gabby from this push.
The tier 3 tower gone. Chains. Oh, the arrow just in slow motion. Gonna come into RR. Ken got a skewer off, but it doesn't matter when you don't have the RP available. It just doesn't do anything. That mid-rack's not going to last long at this rate. And Gabby, he got a 3-man chrono off. Armel's there with the follow-up. They've got an arrow there. That'll be BDC gone. A triple kill out for Gabby again. He is currently 14-1. In this game, it looks to be over, John. What's Dota Plus thinking? Yeah, 100%. It's over.
Yeah, nah. You can't come back. Maybe you have one more RP play. 40 seconds off. You got to be very disciplined. Palas is just fully pushing as best as he can, but these objectives won't hold. They won't. For one more set. You've got the sustain from KP as well, so...
March, he goes down, but he's just basically distracting them down the bot lane. Everyone in the game tips March. March is the imposter. We all knew it to begin with. 9 players tip March. How nice.
I mean, he wins. He wins for that, though. Like, you're giving the dude levels, guys. He's getting levels. So he's happy, you know? March got to save some moolah.
Absolutely. And that thunder outside's getting crazy, John, I gotta tell you. It's loud.
I
think some people may have just heard it in the mic. It looked like it made a bit of sound in the mic.
I didn't hear it, so it might be fine.
Alright.
Might be fine. Maybe Discord's just canceling it out well still. What's not going on, and what might as well be a storm, is here for Execration. High ground, 2 racks down. They've got the RP available, but...
Look at this, the arrow's gonna fly in. Palos can literally do nothing, and Armel will just chop meat in front of him. RP! Oh, Ken, he used it! Oh, he was trying to pump fake and he used it. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's why he's been so hesitant this whole game, because he knew Armel was looking to do that to him. You know, Armel, that man has a family too. There's no need to embarrass him like that.
They've got the Dezo and Palos. Maybe they get a lucky crit out.
Come on, John. It's looking really tough. Palos doesn't even have a BKB right now.
No.
Chains out onto BDZ with the arrow follow-up from Tims, and he just blows up. BDZ gets a tip. Ken tries to go for the skewer, gets nothing. And Gabby will continue just pushing out the bottom wave, pushing down the tier 3 tower.
Yeah, he's got the Aegis for about a second. It's gonna go, but doesn't matter. Just a slow siege, and Execration have to do something.
Nice chains out. They've caught the mag again, and there's really nothing he can do. He's been slowed by that time dilation. None of them are moving. It's just so slow. Now the lasso comes out, but the arrow from Tim's just going to hold RR down. They just won't call the GG, but Gabby will make them call it now with the chrono out, and that's it. Palos has had enough of the torture. That'll be game 1 over. And TNC take a very convincing game 1. And I suppose we'll see if they can repeat the same performance in game number 2.
Yeah, Execration under a lot of pressure. They need to find a draw here, Mike. Else they're gonna be fighting for that 8th spot with 032. One of these Filipino boys have got to get out, and it's gonna be a bloody one. Execration got to clean up their act. TNC, they're not playing today, Mike.
Well, we'll find out how game 2 goes. I've just got to go make sure the house isn't getting flooded, John. It's MLP Dota and JohnXfire. We'll see you all again in about 10 minutes for that secondary game.